Welcome to the Fantasy Football Hub YouTube channel for a Game Week 23 preview. Today I'm joined by a man who's off the back of a massive green arrow as things stand. It is FPL expert, the big man himself, Bakar. You're back. 63k as it stands, my friend. What a game week.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jack. Hello and welcome to all the listeners and viewers. Yeah, I'm chuffed to bits, Jack, this week. I mean, I generally don't show much emotion when it comes to FPL, but this has been one of those weeks where I can sort of feel that I made a substantial rank rise. I've sort of risen from nearly 100k to nearly 60k with two players to come. I hope I can continue that. And it's been 14 green arrows the past 15 weeks now. I'm not even sure I've ever had that consistency in my FPL career. I think when I finished board, I must have had a lot of green arrows, but 14 out of 15 is pushing it quite a bit. So I'm sort of hoping I can, just ride the momentum in the weeks to come, especially with doubles and blanks around the corner.
Yeah. Solanke and Areola still to come tonight, so who knows? That green could be extended. We never know. The star of the show really is your highest scoring player, the man you captained, Julian Alvarez. Wow.
He's done exceedingly well for me, and it's sort of funny. I often get accused of being very template and of following the herd. And Alvarez, I don't think a lot of people in the FPL community, even the major big content creators, captain him, and I'm sort of glad that I went my own way and it paid off. I even played Saliba over Palmer, which was fairly anti-template. So it's always funny to read the comments in the chat section about people calling me template. Generally, I do have a template style, but what's sort of important to note here is that this season I made a very sort of conscious effort to play more analytically. I'm just trusting my thought process more with my decisions. I'm just glad they're paying off. I mean, I'm just going to double down on my analytical approach, and I hope I can do well in the weeks to come.
Sure thing. Well, it's definitely paying off for you. As you say, yeah, past 15 game weeks, 14 greens is pretty unbelievable. Let's move our attention on to game week 23, though. One man is back. He's back in the side, came off the bench. Of course, I'm talking about Erling Haaland. And immediately, I want to know your thoughts on him, whether he's just a nailed-on transfer in. But then, importantly, if he is, who for? Because a lot of the talk before this upcoming game week was, we'll wait and see. If Haaland's back, he comes in for Alvarez. Easy. But off the back of a massive haul from Alvarez, I mean, 26 points for you as a captainer. That's got to be quite a challenging sell now. Has that made you change your mind at all?
I mean, I do expect Haaland to come back in, considering the fixture and considering the fact that Brentford are a very physical side. Pep has talked about this in the past, and I would think that the matchup is sort of tailor-made for Haaland tactically. Secondly, the gap between the two games. I mean, City played Wednesday night, then now they have a Monday night fixture. So I assume it's a good enough gap for Haaland to come in. I don't think he will play more than 70 minutes, if I'm being totally honest. But I think he'll start, which is enough for me to at least buy him this week. And I think I will go ahead with the transfer because I mean, Alvarez has sort of served me well. I don't want to sort of keep him just for the sake of the fact that he's, just did really well for me. I think there are more points that we had with Haaland.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go ahead with it, most probably.
Then would you captain him? Are you willing to go there?
Yeah, that's a trickier question. I'm almost set on doing Alvarez to Haaland, but I'm not really sure about the captaincy. In fact, at the moment, I'm leaning not towards captaining him. Ooh. It's sort of 55-45 no. I mean, I think when we look at my team this week, I think my transfer is sorted. My bench is more or less sorted. I don't think there are too many decisions with my team this week, apart from the captaincy. And very much like last week, I think let's say if we get any positive update from Pep, or I mean, he's not going to come out and say that Hull is going to play 90 minutes, right? So it's difficult for me to captain Haaland unless I know that he's going to play at least 70, 75, 80 minutes. I'm not exactly confident. Yes, I do think he'll start and he will probably score, but is he better than someone like Watkins, who has Sheffield United, or Solanke, who has Forest at home? I mean, these guys are really, really good picks, 90-minute men. I see a lot of people selling the likes of Watkins and Solanke for Haaland this week, and I'm not really sure about those transfers because, to be very honest, both Solanke and Watkins are borderline captaincy shouts this week. Aston Villa sort of have a good run of fixtures coming up, while Solanke is cheap and could have a double, let's say around game week 27 or 28. So I'm not entirely sure about that thought process. For me, it's sort of easier moving him on because I own Alvarez, and I assume it would be easier for those who have a cheap forward like an Archer or a Sula. But I think if you own Watkins and Solanke and you're looking to move on for Haaland this week, then it's a very tricky decision to make.
Yeah, personally, I have Watkins, Solanke, and Darwin, and I'm really not sure where to go because I'm still waiting on this double game week 25 that is supposedly going to happen. Is that what's going on there? Because it's 3 weeks away now. The rule generally for fans is that the Premier League like to announce fixtures at a minimum length of 3 weeks so that people can make arrangements to get to the game and stuff. Where is that fixture?
I mean, Jacques, there's a chance that we can hear about it before the deadline tomorrow. I'm not exactly sweating over it personally because I think it matters more to people who have Liverpool players in their squads rather than those who don't. For example, if I don't own a Liverpool player, I won't be buying for Arsenal this week, right? I'll leave the Liverpool players till Burnley at home in 24, and that too if they have a double in 25. But in your case, Jack, I don't think I'd sell Darwin. I think Darwin is easily a keep. I know he missed so many chances last night.
That was fun game to watch.
Hit the post 4 times, hit the bar 4 times. He missed the penalty, got the yellow card. It was just the ultimate Darwin experience. If you ever wanted to know what and who Darwin Núñez is, having not watched any single game of his career, I would suggest that you go back and watch the game last night so that you can get a fair idea of what the Darwin ride is like. I mean, it's a fun ride, and it's often very good to jump on. I mean, I'm almost certainly going to have him if Liverpool double because his numbers are crazy this season, and it seems as if he's sort of played himself above all the rest of the Liverpool attackers, barring Mo Salah in the pecking order.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I think he's an excellent holder. In your position, I definitely won't sell Darwin.
Well, then who would you sell? I mean, if out of Watkins, Solanke, and Darwin to get up to Haaland, or say you have another third striker that you really like the look of, just for the people watching, who would you sell? Or would you sell anyone?
To be very honest, I'm not sure I'd sell anyone this week. But if you were selling, I have probably Watkins because Solanke is cheaper. That's the only logic, and because Villa could blank in game week 26, right? There's a chance of that happening.
It's a really tough one. It really is. Yeah, I do feel like that.
Game week 29. Apologies. Game week 29.
Yeah. 29. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Game 29.
I do feel like Alvarez is I don't know. I mean, Alvarez is not nailed to be rested or dropped, is he? It is a little bit more likely, but wouldn't be shocked if he was to still start that game. Maybe not at number 9, but maybe in midfield. Who knows? But yeah, I do think Alvarez is a sell. It's tougher in my position for sure. Let's talk about your bench though.
He's not a must sell. He's not a must sell. He's sort of an easier sell than the rest of the players. I mean, I'm sort of curious to hear about what you're thinking with Haaland, because I assume a lot of people find themselves in the position. So let me go sort of step by step, just to sort of summarize what we've talked about. I think if you own Alvarez, you can sort of sell him for Haaland. If you own Solanke, Watkins, and a cheap striker, you aim to upgrade the cheap striker to Haaland.
Yeah.
If you own Watkins, Solanke, and Darwin, I think that is the most trickiest scenario of them all. And in that scenario, I think Watkins is probably the sacrifice, but I'm not sure I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm personally, it depends. I would love to hear some Liverpool news. I really would, because if Liverpool aren't going to be doubling, then it's an easy Darwin sell. But because just given the fixtures, and I think I'm going to be benching Darwin this game week anyway. However, out of Solanke and Watkins, I mean, both have such good fixtures. It's just I don't want to do it. But I don't know. So who would you be captaining then if you aren't going to be on Haaland? Would it be Watkins, you think?
Yeah, it's going to be one of my forwards. It's going to be Watkins or Solanke.
It's such a weird spot to be in. Where you're either selling someone. Like for me, I'm going to be selling one of those two potentially. But then they're both captain options.
See, this is the team. This is the thing. All of what you're doing comes down to who do you think is the best captaincy shot this week.
Yeah.
If you think that Watkins is the best captain, then by all means keep him. If you think that Solanke is the best captain, by all means keep him. If you think Haaland is the best captain, by all means get him. So this is what you sort of have to decide. I'm not entirely sure that I can say this with enough conviction that Haaland is the best captaincy choice right now without having sort of seen him start a game. I do expect him to score. I mean, but I don't really see a huge score for for City. I mean, Brentford are all right. City will probably score 2 or 3, and Haaland's probably going to be scoring 1. That's what I think, and the game will go like.
Okay, so you said that your benching dilemma was actually quite straightforward this week. According to the My Team tool,
It's not straightforward, but
yeah, but you're pretty locked in,
it's
right?
not straightforward, but I've sort of made peace with it.
Okay, well, according to the My Team tool, Foden is the one that they've got benched. He has the fewest predicted points. What are you thinking?
What do you think that I'm thinking?
I think you might be thinking of Saka, to be honest with you. I personally would bench Foden, but I think you might be thinking
Jack,
of Saka.
At the moment, I have Foden benched, and I think it will stay that way. It is between Foden and Saka, though. It's between Foden and Saka, but I think I will play Saka simply because I expect Arsenal to score against Liverpool. Saka is on penalties, on set pieces. And because I don't think we'll get a City league before the deadline telling us that Foden is definitely starting. I mean, I do expect him to start, but I mean, with Bernardo not exactly in the team, he could be getting subbed around the 70-75 minute mark, which is what happened yesterday. And I'm not entirely confident about his wide right position that he was playing in yesterday. I mean,
no, he was too wide. He was so withdrawn.
Exactly. I wasn't too impressed. I watched the game. No. So I think it probably makes more sense for me to bench Foden, and that's who I'm on right now.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. Okay, my friend, let's round things off with your AI recommended transfer. The recommendation from Fantasy Football Hub. And as always, guys, if you want your own personalized recommended transfers, the link to do so and sign up to the site is down below. It says at the top of the screen. Sign up, get your recommendations. The recommendation for you, Bakar, is to bank your free this week. Obviously, you've only got one transfer. Alternative is what you're looking at, though. Alvarez to Haaland.
Yeah, I think I agree with the algorithm, and I think I'll likely go with the alternative option of selling Alvarez for Haaland.
This is a tough week. The problem is you don't have enough time to think about these things. Like in 24 hours, pretty much. Deadline's gone at the time of posting. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I mean,
but sometimes you are often you're often sort of caught guilty overthinking. So I don't necessarily mind the short turnaround as a FPL manager because it sort of gives you reasonable time to take decisions and not to overthink them. But as a FPL content creator, I absolutely hate it because it's just, back and forth. You're doing content, writing articles, appearing on podcasts. In fact, I'm just going to go on the Green Arrow podcast after this recording. So it's just relentless, in when it comes to midweek deadlines and the short turnarounds. But I mean, this is exactly why we love FPL.
Yeah, something like from the previous deadline, it was 6 days of Premier League in 7 days. So, there's a lot of football at the moment, but we did have that long break. So it's definitely welcome from my perspective. Anyway, mate, that is going to do it for this one. Thank you very much for your advice. I'm going to have to think long and hard about whether or not Haaland comes back into the side for who and if I captain him. Before chatting to you, to be fair, I was thinking he was the best captain. Perhaps, though, I need to reconsider that. But anyway, my friend, thank you very much.
Take care, mate. Good luck.